most important aspects of amateur fighting.
Victor doing a great job tonight. Yirdaw, he'll be fighting in the blue corner. Benavidez fighting in the red corner. Should be fun to watch. 135 versus 133, 5'5 versus 5'11. So, and they both have two teammates here tonight. It's always a plus when you have a representative from your team with you.
Yeah, well, your crowd instantly just tripled in size. You know, everybody who's going to root for your teammates also going to root for you.
Especially when you come all the way from Hyattsville, Tacoma Park.
Big takedown from Benavidez.
Well, Benavidez is right here on top of him, 5'5". I told you, if it goes to the ground, the small guy always comes out on top. These long guys, long and lanky, it's tough for him.
Well, Yirdaw was actually able to get his leg up. This is called rubber guard. So now what he needs to do is he needs to get a little bit more of an angle. He needs to be on his side. That's going to force Benavidez down to the mat, and that's going to really give him opportunities to extend those arms and look for those chokes. Right now, Benavidez needs to stay compact and tight and not allow him to lose his base.
Benavidez on top in the red gloves. Yirdaw, he'll be fighting on the ground out with his blue gloves.
Yirdaw now transitioned to a triangle. He was able to get his leg out past the shoulder.
That's going to make a huge difference.
It's tough to see from this angle, but there's a lot of pressure. But actually, Benavidez is able to keep his arms in tight. So even though this looks like there's not a lot of space, he's not able to constrict Benavidez's airway. His breathing ways. So he needs to make the adjustment and really create the pressure that you only get from going to a side.
Capital MMA versus the Beta Academy. Beta in the red corner, Capital in the blue corner. And you don't think that these camps don't know when they fight each other.
Yeah, they keep track, you know.
Yeah.
And anytime one gym gets a number on you, you want to get that one back as soon as possible. And there'll be two other opportunities to pass that back and forth tonight. Right now, Benavidez just needs to kind of get himself out from that position. He needs to pull back a little bit. Yirdaw is not getting to the angle. He's staying flat on his back, so he's not able to get the leverage necessary, and now he's let go.
This is where the crowd turns into their trainers, too. Everybody seems like they know what's the best for everybody. I love to see the guys from the camps just screaming. It's almost like going to a Little League baseball game when your dad's out there yelling at you.
It's very similar. But, you know, sometimes it can be so frustrating because you could see something and you know that that person knows what to do.
Right.
But they're not translating it.
Benavidez trying to squirt out the backside here.
You know, Benavidez, his left arm is extended. Now, if Yirdaw is able to make a transition and move his hips, he could actually threaten with an arm bar, any sort of extension that's going to cause damage.
And Benavidez, I think, knows that. He's trying to keep his arm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Great pickup. Yeah, Benavidez is staying real tight, and he just went to his hips to do that.
Right in the middle of the cage, right on top of the Cagezilla logo. Victor right in there close in case there's a tap. Benavidez in the red gloves. Yirdaw, he'll be fighting in the blue gloves off his back.
That arm is extended now. Benavidez needs to be really careful, but he can't overcommit because the choke is there too. He's tapping. Is he? Yeah, he tapped right there.
Did he?
Yeah, he tapped twice there.
Well, Victor definitely missed it then. Wow.
Wow, that was dangerously close.
In Yirdaw, this is sponsored by GetWild.com. This is round 2, scheduled for 3 rounds as they meet right on top of the Cagezilla logo.
Now, in the first round, Benavidez was able to get the takedown, but he didn't really have the advantage. Oh, Yirdaw with a beautiful duck under. You know, what I was going to say was Benavidez might want to keep the fight on the feet because when he got to the ground, he was in danger the entire time.
Yeah, and you would think it would be the other way around. A lot of times I feel like those little guys, they can squirt out, squeeze, and they can do different things. Those tall guys, to get their limbs around is just a little bit different.
Absolutely, and Yirdaw actually ducked under David Benavidez, which is a real significant level change. He timed it perfectly, and now he's trying to get that leg out, and he work his way into side control while Benavidez continuously kind of goes back and forth and take half guard and get his back to the cage so he can kind of wall walk up.
Some of the things I see CD here sometimes is even in the amateur division, you get a guy on his back, and Yirdaw could go over here and drag him over to his corner, get him away from Benavidez's corner. And I've seen that in years past. It's just a little bit more experienced guys go, I don't want that guy to hear anything his corner has to say. I'm going to drag him all the way around.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, what Benavidez just did was he listened to his corner. He worked for the choke, and then he was able to, as Yirdaw went to defend that guillotine, transition to the back. He now has the back, but he's kind of hanging out in that midpoint, right? He's either going to take mount, or if Yirdaw bellies down, he'll be able to take his back. What Yirdaw has to be careful is, though, his left arm is actually underneath Benavidez's arm. So that's going to allow a crucifix position. Benavidez abandoned it and went right to mount.
Ooh.
Ooh, excellent transition.
Yeah, great move.
It's under the chin. Yofty needs to push up. He also needs to grab that top hand and pull it down. That's going to alleviate a lot of the pressure.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if he had it all the way under, and if I can't see the full chin, they usually just don't have it sunk in there. But great move by Benavidez, and I think that was what we were just talking about. He's over in his corner. If you're in your corner, those guys are coaching you.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it's just crystal clear, and your opponent can't hear his corner, which is really a significant piece of it as well.
I mean, in Cagezilla's in the past, you've just seen guys who are smart, and coaches say, hey, if you got him over there, drag him over here so I can talk to you. Walk him over here.
Well, now it seems the positions have changed. Yofty is on his back, but actually he was on his back the entire first round, and he was driving. He was in control. He was able to just reverse it right there, and ideally you want to get past those hips. If you're that tall, it's going to be a lot of pressure, but the drawback of that is it's going to be easier to grab a limb. Everything's longer. It's much easier to pull onto.
Benavidez in the red gloves. He's on his back. Little flip and rolls here. Yirdaw moving his guy over to his corner. This is a little bit different than what we were just talking about, and you see him just kind of squirming over there.
With 10 seconds left, Yofty's really going to want to just try to posture up and do damage.
Yeah, quickly.
Momentarily he had mount, but he wasn't really able to clear the foot from Benavidez, so Benavidez did a good time of getting it back.
Gave one last elbow there at the end of round number 2. Not sure if it sported through before the end of the round. All right, here we go. The third and final round. Fun to watch. Going to be a long night for you and I. We go 3 rounds every time.
But it's technical. You know, these guys are active. They're looking for the finish, and they both have good defense.
That big long leg looked like he started it around Georgia and came up through the Carolinas.
Beautiful duck under from Benavidez.
Yeah.
Excellent reversal by Yofty. He used the knee pass. He's going to try to get to side control.
Benavidez back in trouble again as far as I'm concerned down here on the ground. Well,
you know, Benavidez, even though it was a beautiful takedown, he kind of took it easy after he finished it. And that's what led to his reversal. You know, there might be a conditioning issue right now where he's just tired. I shouldn't say conditioning issue. He might just be gassed from working so hard defending those attacks.
Sure. Yirdaw on top in the blue gloves. Benavidez in the red gloves.
Benavidez is going for 2-on-1 right now. He abandoned it because there's just no way to break that grip when Yirdaw on his side. You know, you need to see some activity if you're Benavidez, especially in guard. You know, you got to do something to make him, to make Yofty really feel threatened.
A lot of times I don't think the crowd appreciates the amount of work that's going on. We're so used to in these amateur fights to see guys just get up there and just wail on each other. The crowd kind of dies down and she's a little sleepy. But these guys are actually up in the cage working hard in this third and final round. Absolutely.
You know, and as the sport evolves, I think the crowd is going to evolve too. You know, I could already tell just from, you know, a couple years back, they appreciate the transitions a little bit more. Nobody likes watching guys stall, right? That's fair to say.
Yeah.
But when there's activity like these guys are doing, people watch because it's like a knockout punch. At any second, the finishing move could occur. It's just it results usually in a tap out rather than a knockout.
And for amateur fighting, how great does Cagezilla do here for all 4 sides to have the cube up top, to be able to see, for us to have the screen here at our table. I mean, I've been to a couple other amateur fights where they just don't even have any of that stuff. They just have the cage and let's go to work.
No, there's something to be said about Cagezilla. I mean, just look at the sponsorships. You know, you're fighting in front of a Domino sponsor, a Hooters sponsor. The crowd here is very active and they're very knowledgeable. It gives you a very real high-level fight atmosphere that you don't really get in the amateur levels. And that makes a huge difference for the fighters, too, as they mature.
Absolutely. You come out and feeling like you've just walked out onto the television set of all times with the lighting and everything. And it's not like you're in front of some small crowd. We got thousands of folks here tonight.
Oh, it's a packed house. Yofty's getting a little bit more active now, trying to work into mount. Benavidez is using his hips to create space, but he's just not quite following through with those spaces that he creates.
Getting close to the end of round number 3. Man, I hate to leave these things up to the judges.
Benavidez now threatening, getting the leg over.
He better do something in about 10 seconds.
Yofty was able to step over. Now he's going to look for the armbar. A good transition there, but excellent defense from both fighters.
10 seconds left in round number 3.
Yofty just took mount, and he really needs to make make or break the fight.
Oh, he should have
really be active.
That's it. Into round number 3. This one's going to be a close one. I'm going to give this one to Yofty, but I'm never right on these.
Well, I agree with you.
Never.
I like to think I'm right.
I'm never right on these. Ever. This is what irritates me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecard for a decision. Judge 1 scores the bout 29-28. Judge 2 scores the bout 27-30. And Judge 3 scores the bout 28-29 for your winner by split decision. Out of the blue corner,
Holy mackerel!
Yirdaw!
Well, we called it. I finally get one right, CD. I don't understand. All right, something must be wrong. Check the cards again. But it was a split decision. It was close.
It was a close fight. It was a very close fight. You know, it really depends on how you were looking at it. I mean, you know, Benavidez